What's up, Goblin Gang, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're not just looking at a commander, we're paying respect to a legend, a staple, a true OG that has been making friends and enemies alike for over a decade. We're talking about the one, the only, the king of chaos, Krenko Mob Boss. This ain't a custom commander, this is the real deal, and he's been putting in work since his debut. For just 4 mana, Krenko comes down as a 3/3 Goblin Warrior. That's fine. But we're not here for that. We're here for the meme, the myth, the masterpiece. That is his activated ability. For the low cost of tapping Krenko, Krenko makes X 1/1/1/1 red goblin tokens, where X is the number of goblins you already have. That's right, he's not just making an army, he's making a multiplying army, a goblin exponential growth machine. So let's get ready to make more goblins than there are stars in the sky, and then turn them into damage. It's time to get unhinged. Okay, so we have a commander that makes a ton of goblins, but what's the point if you can't do anything with them? This is where our mana engine comes in. Our primary plan is to turn our swarming horde into an infinite amount of resources. The all-star here is the classic Skirk Prospector. For just a single red mana, this tiny 1-drop gives us an engine piece that lets us sacrifice a goblin to add 1 red mana to our mana pool. Combine this with Krenko, and your goblins become a renewable resource for a slightly more expensive but equally powerful effect. We also have Thermopod. This slug from Ice Age lets us sacrifice a creature for a single red mana, giving us some redundancy for our mana engine. And then we're ready to go wide and then go off. Battle Hymn is an absolute firework. For just 2 mana, it adds a red mana for every creature we control. Imagine tapping Krenko to make 16 goblins, then dropping this to add 16 red mana to your pool. We call that pro gamer moves. Alright, but why stop at a lot of mana when we can go infinite, right? This is where the infinite goblin combo comes in. This is a beautiful broken core of the deck that has been terrorizing playgroups for years. The most famous is the Umbral Mantle combo. This equipment can be equipped for free and for 3 mana, and tapping the equipped creature, it untaps that creature and gives it +2/+2. Wait, what? With Krenko making at least 4 goblins, you can tap him to make 4, then pay 3 mana to untap him with the Mantle, giving him a pump, and do it all again, right? Do it all over again. With enough mana, you can go infinite, but what about infinite mana? That's where Thornbite Staff comes in. Wherever and whenever a creature dies, you can untap that equipped creature with a sacrifice outlet like Skirk Prospector and a token to sacrifice. You can make a goblin, sacrifice it for mana, untap Krenko with the staff, and then tap him again to make even more goblins. It's a beautiful self-sustaining loop that every Krenko player knows and loves. And we can't forget the original hype man, Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker. He's a legend in his own right, and he can make a token copy of another non-legendary creature. He's a great backup plan, or another way to create an exponential army. So we've got infinite goblins, infinite mana, now what? It's time to turn that mob into a murder machine. The deck is full of ways to turn our tokens into direct damage. The most famous is probably Goblin Bombardment. This simple enchantment allows us to sacrifice a creature to deal 1 damage to any target. Infinite goblins plus this, that's infinite damage to the face. We also have the underrated Pashalik Mons. Whenever he or another goblin you control dies, he deals 1 damage to any target. So when you're sacrificing goblins for mana, he's also burning down the board at the same time. Talk about a 2-for-1. Another one-shot kill is Mob Justice. For just 2 mana, it deals damage to a player equal to the numbers of creatures you control. So you can tap Krenko once you make 64 goblins, and then play this just to end the game right there. And for a bit of a cheeky spot removal, we have Gem Palm Incinerator. This card lets you cycle it for mana, and it deals damage to a creature equal to the number of goblins you have. It's a perfect way to take down a pesky blocker while drawing cards. A deck that relies on a few key combo pieces needs ways to find them. Luckily, goblins are all about finding their friends. The classics are here, like Goblin Matron. She comes in, finds any goblin, and puts it into your hand. Simple, efficient, and perfect. But if you really want to play on hard mode, you have the infamous Goblin Recruiter. This guy is so good he's banned in Legacy. He lets you search your library for any number of goblins, stack them on top of your library in any order. He's the ultimate deck stacking machine. For the more modern and less broken option, we have Imperial Recruiter. He can grab any creature with power 2 or less and put it into your hand. He can find you a Skirk Prospector, a Goblin Engineer, and even Conspicuous Snoop. Speaking of which, Conspicuous Snoop is a hilarious card and lets you play while the top of your library is revealed, and as long as that top card is a goblin, he has all of its activated abilities. It's like a mini Goblin Recruiter that's always active. Alright, now once we've got some goblins out there, we need to make them bigger and faster. A goblin army without haste is just a bunch of goblins. So we have all of our haste enablers. We've got our Lord package with Goblin Chieftain and Goblin War Chief. They both give other goblins +1/+1 and haste, with the War Chief also making your goblin spells cheaper. For some spicy redundancy, we also have House Squad Heavy. It also gives your goblins haste and makes a token that attacks at the beginning of combat. It's a great way to start filling up the board. My personal favorite though is Ogre Battle Driver. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, that creature gets +2/+0 and haste until the end of turn. This guy turns Krenko's tokens into a real beatdown threat, even without an infinite combo. No deck is complete without some ways to stop your opponents from stopping you. We're in mono red, so our removal is all about fire and destruction. We're running the classics like Lightning Bolt because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. For some versatility, we have a Braid. It can hit a creature for 3 damage or destroy an artifact, which is great when your opponents are running annoying hate pieces. And for some more chaos-themed removal, we have Chaos Warp and Wild Magic Surge. Wild Magic Surge is especially fun as it lets you destroy a permanent and then force your opponent to reveal cards until they find a permanent of the same type to replace it. It's random, it's funny, and it perfectly encapsulates the goblin spirit. And what's better than winning, it's watching a blue player's face whenever you counter their counterspell. Our gotcha package is dedicated to shutting down the most annoying players at the table. We have Red Elemental Blast and Ricochet Trap. Red Elemental Blast can either counter a blue spell or destroy a blue permanent for just a single red mana. It's an absolute staple in any red deck that hates blue. And Ricochet Trap is a trap that you can cast for just 1 red mana if an opponent has cast a blue spell that turn. It changes the target of a spell with a single target, which is perfect for redirecting a counterspell aimed at Krenko. Our newest addition to this arsenal is Return the Favor. For just 2 mana, you can copy a spell or activate an ability or change the target of a spell or ability. It's a great way to show them that Krenko's boss. And one of the absolute honorable mentions that was left out here is Devilish Valet. Take a look at that card. It would be absolutely sick inside of your Krenko deck. But that's it for our deep dive into this legendary, chaotic, and meme-worthy world of Krenko Mob Boss. This deck is for the player who loves to build an unstoppable board state, go for an alpha strike, or just win out of nowhere with a combo. It's a deck that says, I'm here to have fun, and for me, fun is winning with an army of tiny dudes. Krenko has earned his place in the Hall of Fame of Commanders for a reason. What are some of your favorite Krenko stories or your favorite goblins that we didn't include? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more of our chaotic mess. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the battlefield.